Okay, okay. And another question is here anyone who doesn't know me at all? Who doesn't know me at all? No. Okay, wonderful. Then me, Rania, me. You don't know me at all. Okay, how did you come here? Somebody from the friend. I mean, how did you uh, end up being here, Rania? So I understand that Rania doesn't know me because she didn't take any course, anything. Rania, then my dear,
نخلي
through a friend,
التليفون ينامها ترى بكرة اكتشف الصبح.
Carol, Carol, please follow your microphone. So, Rania, my dears, in the process of the conversation, you will get to know me better. But the only thing that I want to say is that I am a happy woman, and one of the main aspects of my life is accept becoming myself more and more happy as a woman. I want to participate in other people, especially in other women's happiness as well, because I consider I really achieved on my personal level, I achieved something which I wouldn't even dream as a child. This is why you see, not everything is processed because I start talking about happiness and I cough. This is why, Rania, step by step, please stay around us. And if your goal is to really have a high quality life, a genuine life, to become always more and more happy, then definitely you will benefit a lot from communication, from being in my field. Let's say like this. Okay. So welcome, welcome, Rania. So let's start with the first question. If the child refuses his parents and can't forgive what was wrong, how the parents should act? Uh, how the parents should act? The parents should act as if nothing wrong happens. Because if we are taking on a high level, on a large level, on a level beyond the material, beyond bread and butter, then we already know that everything that happens uh, basically is meant to be there. You are the perfect parent to your child. Of course, it doesn't give us it doesn't allow us to kind of, be completely ignorant and continue, I don't know, some kind of really wrong things when you already know that, it's not really good to behave like this with the child. Okay, when you didn't know that, for example, cesarean is really harmful for the child, when you have the option to deliver naturally, okay, you didn't know, you didn't, absolutely, you were 18 years old, everybody around you told you, yalla, no, it's okay, cesarean is easier, na na na, and you believed, you didn't know otherwise. But today, I don't know, 5 years later, you are again pregnant and you already know. So this time, obviously, the right thing to do is to do the impossible, but to try to have a natural birth, and so on and so on. Like this can concern all the different aspects of motherhood. This is why, my dears, let's say you were not the perfect mom. Let's say you went to back to the office, to the job when your baby was just 40 days old, and you didn't know that this is so harmful for the baby. Or you, I don't know, when you found you are pregnant, you wanted to abort your child, and then somebody convinced you not to. Or you were hitting, beating, punishing your child. Are these things okay? Well, we could have done a lot better, even the most perfect mom. could be even better, but for some reason we gave to our children the experience that they needed by being ourselves poor and not being able to offer to our children, I don't know, a better school, better toys, better food, better clothes, and so on. We as parents feel guilty for that, and we feel pity that ya haram, and my child will suffer because the other kids have Barbie dolls and my girl has a doll made out of the I don't know, some clothes. Or very often if the parents divorce, or if the relationship in the family is very aggressive, or there are conflicts between mother and father, and the child will take somebody's side and the child will blame everyone. My dears, regardless what kind of parents you are, bad or good, even if you are the best, the children will always, there will be a period, there will be moments that the children will blame us. We cannot change this. It works in 99%. This is why children have no have like have no right. What means to forgive me? Who is my child to forgive me? I gave him life. I gave him life. I made sometimes possible, sometimes impossible for my own reason, according to my own level of fear, of understanding, of love, of anything. So how can he forgive? Why? How can he think that he has to forgive me? This is why, my dears, when children are getting upset with us, when children are getting, especially at the elder age, this rebellious, slamming the door, and I don't know, after 18 years, leaving the house, and no, allow them to be, no, allow them to think that you are a bad parent, allow them to live their life, because eventually they will understand. The only thing that is required from us as parents is understanding that I exactly received the child I deserve, or I needed, and my child received me as a parent, the perfect parent that he or she needed. This is why all the life circumstances that happened, that soul of the child needed me, a crazy mom, needed an alcoholic father, needed a psychopathic father, needed a poor mother, I don't know, a mother without a father, whatever that happened. No, it happened. This is why I understand that life is already harmonious and there is nothing to forgive. So your duty is to maintain that balance. I'm the parent, that is the child. There is nothing for him or her to forgive me, but me as a mom, of course, I will try always to be better, to be myself better as a mom, and of course to love, to learn to love my child unconditional. Why would I care if my child forgives me or not? Because I'm attached and I'm expecting his or her approval, love. If the child doesn't love me, I will think maybe I'm really bad. Why? It should not. You love, a child's love cannot define our value or our doubts or our something. You by yourself must be an unshakable pillar of dignity, confidence, and faith, value, so that if for some reason children are rebellious and saying you are a bad mom, you say yes, maybe, but I did my best. Maybe I'm the worst mom, but I did my best. This is why it should not get you into feeling of guilt. Absolutely. This is why what to do, nothing to do. To continue loving your children and not trying to earn their love. um, you should always act as an elder in the family. The child cannot manipulate. the family. The child cannot be the main figure in the family. The main figure is mother and father. Point. Children are guests in our house. They are guests in our life. You are owning the hotel. They are only guests for some time. They will spend there. And ideally, if you will really offer them a nice and safe place. But sometimes the place is not always safe, but you always remain the boss. You, the parents, the parents are remaining the boss. The child cannot and should not be the center of the family. Never. Unless it's a newborn and you are everything to him. Other than that, the child always subordinates, the smaller system subordinates to a bigger system. Okay, I hope it is kind of satisfactory. If anyone has any question to this explanation, just please ask now, so that after that we will not jump to this topic again. So, question 1, question 2, question 3, no question, solved. Okay, then next question. At what age someone can start truth therapy? What other practices there is to heal ourselves from what we carry through our ancestors? What age? I would say that, okay, I will tell you. With my children, I do. Sometimes I do. So they are, okay, now they are already, so let's say 12 years old, I've done. But just because they are under my wing, and on one side I was also wanting, like, does it work? And on the second side there were issues, and I say, let's use this as well. But definitely, I would.
Рада, извини, пожалуйста. Can you повторите вопрос, который задали? Извини, пожалуйста.
At what age children can start doing truth therapy? So I would really not recommend, let's say, I would not recommend doing this before, ideally before 18. But if, the person is kind of aware, then 17, 16, maybe. Before that, I would not. Because child, I would not. Now, the second part of the question: what other practices there is to heal ourselves from what we carry through the ancestors? Why you need another practice when you have one? Usually, basically, my dears, we all. It's not that we start devaluing, but when we have already something in our hand, basically we can use that something our entire life. For example, rebirthing. Rebirthing was my main tool for, I don't know, for 15 more years, almost 20 years. And it gave amazing results. Then, okay, thanks God, came other practices, came neurography, came Reiki was there, even though at a later stage I started using it less, and came truth therapy. So basically, we have always to work on the things that disturb our life. Not start like from the ancestors, but I look into my life. What bothers me now? Now, for example, bother me my relationship with my husband. Or it bothers me my financial, like right in this point of time, couple of months, this year, this is really something that bothers me a lot, or some sickness, or some kind of something. There are some things that are bothering me. So I understand I want to process those. And I start to dig to start approaching those problems from different sides. And one of the aspects, thanks God, we already understood that ancestors, all this program, family, ancestral program, they really impact us so strongly. That is why we try to kind of harmonize our relationship, our connections to the ancestors and programming. So there wouldn't be like what are the techniques? Rebirthing cleanses our traumas, our curses, our jinxes, our everything, our blockages, inclusively on the ancestral level. Neurographica does the same. It reaches ancestral level as well. Um, if um, if establishing the relationship with the ancestors. Then, just the other day, where I was also talking about this, maybe during the neurography drawing of the ancestors, is at least, not at least, what we can do. Learning more about our ancestors, talk to the elders in the family about all the stories, history of aunties, uncles, grandparents, cousins, and so on, especially those secret, spicy stories that usually people don't comment and don't mention. It's important. Then try to get the names. Birthdays would be too good too good to know, but whatever you can know about your ancestors, ask from the elders in the family at least the names, because usually already after the third generation we don't know even the names of our great grandparents. Then take care of the graves. Then on Saturdays, for example, you can offer food to the poor people in the remembrance of your ancestors. For example, the grandparents, the parents whose parents are already passed away, on their anniversary dates of birth. My dears, please follow the control the microphone. We can we can on the anniversaries dates of death and birth, we can if this is Christianity, then you go to the church and you put the candle, for the deceased one. If different other religion, on that day you go to the grave or you do something, but definitely you pray. And when you pray, you say the fruits of this. For example, you decided to read the chapter in Quran or a part of the Holy Scriptures, and you say that the benefits of this reading I am offering to my ancestors in general, or to particular person, to this person. It's very good to, for example, on Saturdays you have you bake or you buy something made from the wheat, and you just if you have a photo in the house of the ancestor of somebody dead, then you just offer in front of the total, in front of that picture, that kind of cake or biscuits or whatever, or rice, with water, but in the plastic plates, like not the plates you use for your for the alive one. You keep there for some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. You can pray that type of reading from Quran, or reading or saying a prayer from Christianity, and then that food you just put somewhere under the tree outside so that the birds or the cats, the dogs will eat it. This is a very strong practice. So basically doing something in the name of our ancestors, in the name giving something away, clothes, shoes, food, in the name of our ancestors is absolutely powerful. And whenever we are doing something, um, whenever something is processed, why, for example, what other techniques are there? Why sometimes we don't have access to other techniques? Because we are not ready. We are not ready. We don't have the sometimes the awareness of doing something else. Sometimes we don't have the energy for more changes. Why people say when the student is ready, the teacher comes. The problem, the lack is not in the teachers. The lack is in the students, because everybody, oh, I know, like this and like that. The problem is not in the teachers. The problem is in the students. And when the student is ready, the teacher come. And one of the so what is the readiness of the student? When we ask question, not to show off that you don't know, I mean you, the one who gives the knowledge, doesn't know, or just to show off that I know. No, asking the question when I really need an answer. And then the humbleness, and um, another criteria, another aspect of this, that the student is ready. It means the teacher is doing what? The teacher is doing is sharing some knowledge, experience, which he has the potency of changing person's lives. And the changes can only happen when I have enough extra energy to sponsor that change. Just exactly with the shopping. I can go and buy something when I have money. I can buy, let's say, I can buy a change in my life when I have enough energy. So today you know that, oh, the only thing I know about working with the ancestors is, let's say, saying a prayer on Saturday, and you start doing that, or taking care of the graves. You went, you cleaned the graves, maybe you planted some flowers, or maybe for, I don't know, for a couple of weeks you've been going there on Saturday and at least putting some water on the grave, and or some bonbons, something, and somehow without you being aware, so you did something proper, you accumulated, you launched, you unblocked, you generated the flow of energy, so you won some bonuses like in the virtual games, and these bonuses allow you to raise on the different level. And then you are seeing through the internet, or some friend tells you, you know what, there will be somebody is doing something weird, I don't know, it's called neurographica, they are doing about the ancestors, let's do. And you say, oof, ancestors, like I'm in the topic now, and you are going there, you are doing a process, you are drawing again, some layers get on the surface, you are going through your phases and changes, and it liberates a certain amount of a new energy, which gets you on another level, and so on and so on. This is why, my dears, instead, for example, asking what new techniques, keep on doing what you have, keep on doing till something else will come up. Why? If, for example, there are people who often call me, get in touch with me, and they say that I have tried everything. I've done that and this, and nothing helped. And I tell them, I will also not help you. It's impossible that you did something and it didn't help. In a way, everything helps. But when you say, I did everything and it didn't help, it's just you don't want. You don't want to change. You don't want. So nothing will help. Even if Jesus himself will come down to you and say, I'm Jesus, and this is what do. You will say, probably it was a fake one because he was not walking on the water. He just knocked the door. That is why, my dears, keep on using what you have, and when you are ready, something new will come in your life. Next question. If we are in a certain situation related to work, marriage, or anything else, and we feel stuck and things are not opening up, but we have to take a certain decision, when it's considered that actually we have to move to change something, and when is it that we should wait till something opens up? Again, how can we know why the situation came in our life? How can we know the results of this situation? Definitely, whenever the issues, the problems in our or difficulties come in our life, the first thing, the first impulse that we want to do is what? Please do anything, but just make these problems disappear. So when there are challenges, when there are difficulties in any kind of situation, all we have to do is, for the first thing, is to stop and to say the first prayer. Thank you, God. I accept, it's mine. Thank you, God. I accept, it's mine. So first is at least acceptance that actually it's not a mistake. This certain situation is really came to me because my mindset created this reality. And then when you knock into a door and it doesn't open, it means it's not your door, or the time hasn't come. If you are trying forcing a situation, then it cannot be a good result. It cannot be the right way. Or if you are taking decision in a rush, when you are taking decision in an agony, these decisions are not from angels. These decisions are not from God. They are from the other side. That is why nowadays is very popular the practice in all this kind of how they call it, all this kind of selling techniques when somebody organizes something and then they say you only have 30 seconds to benefit from our whatever offer, and that is not the right thing to do the things. The angels, wherever there is God present, whenever there are angels present, the time slows down. That is why in the situation when we feel uncertain, we just have to say that actually, why did I think that this situation is wrong? Maybe this is exactly the right. So let me see, how do I feel in this situation? What can I change? What would I like to change? And so on. Of course, this is a general question, so I'm giving a general answer. If the situation were more precise, the answer would be more precise. But the thing is that we automatically feel that life, whenever there is a challenge, we say something wrong happened. Wrong according to what? To our expectations? Yes. Our expectations are based on what? On illusion. Our expectations are illusion. Who said it has to be the way we think? Who said the marriage has to be the way I imagined? who says my children have to be, or my motherhood have to be the way I expect. My expectations are what? I saw something somewhere and I liked it. And I say, oh, that's the way I want. Does it mean anything? No. Zero expectation is the best painkiller. We know this. That is why, my dear, whenever something happens, it would really make our life easier if we develop this habit of first instantly trying to understand it's mine. What happened? It's mine. Thank you, God, I accept. And in that situation, you will stop being tense. Definitely, you will be stressed. You will be maybe scared. You will know that like, oh, okay, I can do everything. No, you will still be, I don't know, you will still feel bad. But at least you will be opened up to you will be closer to the universe that actually, because life is harmonious. Life is absolutely balanced. Everybody gets whatever we get is ours, not a single parcel, karmic parcel we receive which is not ours. Impossible. This is why, getting back to the first question, parents, children, even if it happened the bad way, it was the right way. That time I didn't know, but now you know. So now change. That time I didn't know that white lies are still lies. I didn't know that one kiss is still cheating, but now you know. Now change. It's okay. And from now on, if you did 100 abortions, and because you didn't know that it's really so important, then at least, okay, you are already 50, you will not have kids anymore, but the people, other women around you will have. So at least try to help them decide to keep the baby if they are considering the abortion, and so on. We always can kind of, what we feel we did wrong, we always have the chance to help to correct, let's say, to pay off our mistakes with other people. This is why when something happens in our life, we are ready to get into that situation. That is why when to act, where not to end, life doesn't stop. So we keep on basically we keep on taking decisions every single day. And the other day I was talking to a friend, and she was saying that I'm so afraid that sometimes I started being afraid that somebody will knock the door and the bad people will come. And I say, well, I say what to do. I say what to do to remember that if somebody knocks the door, it means you are ready to open. And basically, God came, and basically, this is the manifestation of God, but just in that shape of an ugly person, of an angry person. But if somebody knocks on the door, mm, then you are ready to open. She says, "Well, yes, I know that, but." In that moment, I don't think I will remember that. I will just be scared. And instantly I came with a brilliant idea, and even I will do it. I said, you know what? I know what to do. Just find an image of God, whatever for you is comforting, whatever gives you power, and whatever. It can be angel, it can be Holy Mary, it can be God, whatever helps you. Just print that A4 with that image and just write 2 words. God came. God came, and put it on the door from your side. So whenever somebody rings the bell, even if it's good visitor or even if it's an unwanted visitor, while opening to the door, at least for a second, you will read that God came. Just for a section of a second. While opening, you will understand, yeah, I'm still scared, but at least I trust that God is also watching that this man is knocking, came to me. This is why, my dears, life doesn't stop. The more we will try to understand that everything happens the way it should, then to wait that to wait till something opens up. No, we always have the questions around. It's just the thing that we are waiting for the answers that will comfort us, and very often it doesn't happen. We just have to understand that the challenges, life never stops, and we have to keep on deciding. Sometimes we take wrong decisions, and what to do. So Leah is completing. For example, Radha, my friend, is married to a narcissistic husband, so she's really suffering a lot. She did therapy long time. She tried a lot to give chances. She changed her attitude, but she really can't take it anymore. So in this situation, it means she still needs more work on herself. She wants to find a job to feel secure because she's worried since he's narcissistic, he'll revenge at first. But she said worst case, she goes back to her country if she doesn't find any. Is this because of the insecurity she's feeling and not trusting that it's not opening up, or the lesson are not learned yet? I mean, when do we know the difference? Here, my dears, here what helps us is the course Female to Woman. Female to Woman. The thing is that it's important for us to know I am a woman, and my needs, my rights, and my duties are 1, 2, 3. The man, in the role of the husband, the rights and the duties are 1, 2, 3. And when I understand that the behavior of the man is not up to the mark, more than that, it's disrespectful, more than that, it's dangerous, I will not see it and say, I have to accept my karma. No, no, in the heart. Just today morning I had a session, and the topic was different, but we touched the topic of relationship, and somewhere the question was the same. Should I, as a good wife, accept the karma, or should I do something? So the answer is that inside and outside can be different. So as a wife, as a person who understands that there is karma, probably to this man connects me something, like divorce is not the best thing for the moment, and I should go through this lesson. Yes, but it doesn't mean that we have to just lose the dignity, allow them to step on us, and just be proud that I accepted my karma. So inside, I understand that this soul in the body of a bastard is the best husband for me. I accept that. Yes, it hurts. Yes, I hate him, but I try to at least accept that is the right husband for me. And then the question is, what did he come to teach me? Because when there is a narcissistic husband, there is a wife, usually, what we say, oh my God, she's such an amazing woman. She's so kind. She's so soft. She's like an angel, and he's a monster. So my dears, we cannot be 100% angels. There is a demon inside us, and we have to learn to manipulate that crazy energy that can destroy. We have it in us. Why not to use it sometimes? In saying no, defending our position, saying I will not, shouting sometimes as well. Why not? It's part of the life, what to do. So when that narcissistic husband comes, he comes just to the why do you think women live years with narcissistic husbands? Because they don't have the guts to leave. not to live, let's say, divorce. Take a distance. A narcissistic will only, like 100% abuser will mirror 100% victim. When the person says, I cannot, I don't have the power, I don't know. So become strong. Become strong. Say no, you cannot do this, or with me, you cannot behave like this. And I don't care about your money. I don't care that apartment is yours. I will go and stay with my mom, or I will go and stay, I don't know where. It's about dignity. That monster came to trigger me so that finally I can think of starting developing my dignity. And ideally, if in my heart I understand that, yes, that's my husband, I accept I thank you, God, for giving me such a husband, but on the outside, I'm a woman with respect and with dignity, and I will not allow this man. I'm raising him, I'm educating him, because a man doesn't have by himself the norms, the standards as we want. Normally, men are rougher, they are not that sensitive. This is why comes in his life a woman and starts bringing him up, starts shaping him according to herself, because the man must change, the woman cannot change. The man is meant to change. How he will change? I will make him change. I will change him by saying this I like, this not I don't like. But I will not say this just because I don't know. I saw I took some courses how to manipulate my man, I don't know, through sexually, or I don't know whatever. I know my value. I know my value. I know, and when I know my value, I will definitely make him understand how you can and how you not. So when this situation is, when the woman really feels abused emotionally, mentally, ula samahala, physically, when there is physical abuse in the family, this is the woman's duty to take a distance, to move to another house, because probably the husband, I don't know, usually they don't, or I don't know. And here comes the problem. What comes the problem? The woman cannot even go. She doesn't have anyone who can stand for her to protect her. Ideally, if there is a father, ideally, if there is a mother, a brother, ideally, if she has good relationship with his family, so that whenever there is something wrong in the family, like seriously wrong, she doesn't have to fight it again. But she calls to her father-in-law, and says, uncle or whatever, no, the situation and this, and I don't feel good. That's all she has to say. And uncle or father will take the measures with the husband. But usually our relationships are not. We don't have relationships. So there is no one to protect us, right, girls? And that is why if there is no one, like, there isn't a man in the family to stand for you, you stand for yourself and you take the distance, no matter how weird that would feel. That of course it doesn't feel good going to the mom and saying, you know what, he's not treating me good, and we feel bad. Or going to a friend, what people will say. Well, people will always say, but what I mean is that allowing someone to disrespect is not that feminine style, but we will never be able um, to demand respect if we don't respect ourselves. If we don't respect ourselves. So everything starts with, again, looking in the mirror and say, Radha, what's wrong with you that he is treating you like this? Let's start. What I don't like, what I can make, why I don't make it. Because I'm afraid, because I'm afraid, that's all. That is why, my dears, action is needed. Action is inside. We try to understand that, yes, that's my lesson, that's my husband, he's the best for me today. But outside, behaving as a woman who has dignity. And the same with the kids. The same goes with the kids. Inside, we love them unconditionally, but outside, sometimes we are severe, sometimes we are strict, sometimes we are rough, we are angry, we are scary, we are categorical, we are punishing, we are saying no, and so on. But we are doing this not because, oh my God, I'm tired. No, inside I'm loving him, but outside I'm shouting maybe. What's about having abusive parents? Here is the family and the husband wives, like the family, ours, like we are our parents, plus already our partners, our families. These are people who are very strongly connected to us, karmically. So these are definitely 100%, our children inclusively, our sister brothers. These are people from our, people. These are souls. These are relationships from the previous lives. That is why from the husband you can leave the husband, but as a child you cannot leave the child. As a child you cannot leave your parents, right? Just like the parent will always love the child regardless how bad they are. That is why in this situation, this is the case. What was the first question? How to forgive? Just to understand that I ordered such parents. And I always say this story, this example, in such instances, that there was a soul who was getting ready to be born on earth, and that soul was defining what lessons I must learn in this life, what qualities I must develop in this life, because every single life that we are born with a single purpose: to become better. For that, we have to develop certain qualities. In order to develop certain qualities, we need certain circumstances. The circumstances cannot happen just by itself. We need people who will create those circumstances. And the biggest lessons in our life are given to us by our parents in the first place, then maybe by our marriage partners, and then any other kind of person. So this soul is preparing to be born again, and it approaches two other souls and say, please, can you be in this my life? Can you be you my mother and you my father? And the soul say, okay. And the baby soul says, like, please, you teach me forgiveness and you teach me unconditional love. And the soul says, okay, where I have to sign? Okay, I'm taking the role. So they went in the changing rooms. Everybody put on the costume of mother, father, baby, and in the proper time, they were born. So the baby is born to the mother. And by the time the baby is born, the father leaves the mother. And the entire childhood, the mother drills the girl's brain that because of you, the father left me, na 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 na, and because of you, I couldn't build my career. Because of you, na na na. And when the baby, I mean, when the girl wanted to, I don't know, go for the painting classes and say, Mom, I need, I don't know, pencils. And she said, go ask from your father who left you. So this is kind of the childhood that that girl had. And then somehow she grew, she became 18, she became 20, she already met a young man, already kind of things are settling up, and they are maybe even planning to get married, and knock, knock on the door. She opens and stands a man, and he says, hi, darling, I'm your father. I came back. She said, what? Who needs you now? Where were you when I was, I don't know, 6 years old and I didn't even have money for the coloring pencils? Where were you when I was in the school at the age of 15 and I couldn't even go to the sport classes because my trousers were old and where were you when? So now please F off. She forgot that she asked the father to please you teach me forgiveness and you please teach me unconditional love. How else she can learn? How else can we learn? Through circumstances, through painful circumstances which are created by someone. So automatically we will consider that someone our enemies or another not or another, but continuation to that. When I am and when let's say I commit crimes against children, I am really I don't know, parent who is, I mean, I'm a monster by choice. I choose to be. I won't. I'm I'm a very bad, disrespectful and very bad parent. So now, in next life, I might have the chances to be born as a child to uh, the parents the way I was, so that I understand that, oh my God, never in my life I will harm a child, and I just dedicate my life to the help of traumatized in parental abuse children, and I don't know, and so and so and so on. So everything is absolutely balanced in our life. There was a question: if somebody steals from us something, why people get stolen? What's the meaning of it? So here can be the same. Meanings are million, but just to generalize is that always in life everything is balanced. If I, let's say in my previous lives, have stolen, let's say I took a credit and I ran away from the country and I wasn't caught. And I say, I'm so smart. They couldn't do anything. Catch me if you can. Hmm? So comes the next life, and I'm stolen a lot, or I get fined, or I get accused without being guilty, and my house is getting confiscated, or whatever. And I say, oh my God, like this is not fair. Like I didn't do anything. Okay, in this life you didn't, but in the previous, so you did a lot. Sometimes, we hear the stories that the great grandfather was a robber, or he stole something, or he was the mayor of the village and he was, I don't know, confiscating the lands he wanted. So normally that the further generation will have problems with houses, with homes. They won't be able to have a normal home, a home of their own. There will always be problems with living and so on. So whenever I'm getting back for the, I don't know which time, to the very same conclusion, everything what comes into my life, no matter how hard it can be, how painful it can be for us, but the first thought should be, thank you, God. I accept, it's mine. And from this perspective, not blaming, not, I don't know, not acting, um, not trying to change the world, but trying to change something inside, uh, starting with the mindset, which will automatically reorganize the reality around us. The boomerang law, law in action. Yes, absolutely yes. I thought if you are bad this life, in next life you'll suffer bad as well. Uh, I uh, I thought if you are bad in this life, in next life you'll suffer bad as well. If you do bad in this life, then definitely you will suffer in next one. You ideally, if you suffer in this one, this is why the death sentence is an absolutely justified and it's the best solution, the death penalty. So that the soul understands why the person has been punished. Because if the person deserves death but is not, uh, I mean, doesn't get the punishment, in the next life, anyway, he will be killed. But there will be a lot of question marks. Why? Why before dying, in those moments, before dying, when he's been stabbed by the robbers or he's been, I don't know what, and there are just a couple of 30 seconds left. And the person from the consciousness of that already different person is full of anger, like it's not fair. I paid all my taxes. I just gave charity to those kids at the traffic light. Why I've been stabbed and I'm getting angry? God, where are you looking? What serial are you watching? It's not fair what happened to me. And when we say it's not fair what happened to me, it will just be a continuation till finally we will understand, oh my God, it was really mine. It was really mine. Um, I remember very well this feeling when my son was born that I knew him, and now I often catch myself in situations where he speaks out loud my thoughts, intentions, desires, and often in a fairly active form, so that I have no choice but to act. Look, sometimes, for example, sometimes our children are our husbands from the previous lives. Very often husbands who were dominating. Very often our children are our parents. Imagine our husband, for our father, for example, or mother. So definitely that, especially when the child is still small, on the bodily cellular level, he will, those who did the numerology, yes, we know that the soul number remembers the traces, will bring the traces of the behavior from the previous life. So the very same, those children who play piano at the age of 3 or know the names of all the capitals of the world at the age of 3, or they can add, I don't know, 6 figures or multiply 6 figures numbers at the age of 3, it doesn't mean that they, oh my God, they are so smart, wonder kids. All those kids, most of them, 80%, end up alcoholic, drug addictions, and suicide because the parents force them continue this. Oh my God, my child is a Mozart. My child is Einstein. Definitely, he will be a scientist. He will be an wow. And the parents force the child into the music or whatever, and the child repeats the same life, and he's not enjoying. And eventually, he says, "I cannot handle this reality." So the child comes and starts dominating because in the previous life, I was your mom, I was your husband, whatever. I was the elder. And it doesn't mean, okay, maybe you were elder in the past life, but in this life, I am elder. So you put the son in his place. It's very important. It's absolutely very important to maintain these places. The parents are higher, always, always stronger, always. Even if they don't know nothing about reincarnation, are eating meat, smoking, and drinking. They will be always more powerful than us, the kids who are doing the yoga, who are not eating meat, and who are, I don't know, spending every year 3 months in India, Nepal, or Jerusalem. They always are stronger. Women that are raped is also from their previous lives. Lekin Minshu, of course, absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And once I or I will say now one story. Also, what can be here, as in any kind of, let's say, problem in our life, how it can work. Let's say the father raped himself, somebody else, or the father is a maniac. Like, let's say the father really in the next city where nobody knows him, he just he just rapes, and nobody knows about this, and when he just comes home, he's the best dad in the world. But for some reason, since early age, his girl, his daughter, is abused in the lift, on the dark street, in the bus. Eventually, she's raped. Everything is balanced. But again, why this soul came to such a father? Because there were similar vibration, similar experience in the previous lives. That way, everything gets balanced again. So the story. I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, I never watched the shorts. At that time, I was not on Instagram; it was only Facebook. So on the Facebook, there were also this kind of not shorts, but videos, like a 30-second video about, I don't know, some kind of story, some kind of personality, or so on. Usually I would never stop to watch something, absolutely not. But for some reason, that short video, 1 minute maybe, I stopped. So it was the story of a girl, of a woman, who at the age of 4 or 5, she was kidnapped from her house. She was taken to some fields, raped, and her neck was cut. By I don't know what wonder, she survived. And next day, she was found just thanks to some children who were playing in that field. There was that weed growing, and just because the only thing she could do is raise her hand, so the kids observed like there is a hand coming out of somewhere. They called for the help, and eventually she survived. And also miraculously, the voice after some time got recovered. So it was not like she lost the voice cords. No, she eventually could start talking again. Miracle. And because it's a crime, because she was the victim, definitely the police interrogated her, even though it's a child, but they would ask, and what do you remember? No, 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 no. So the girl told everything to the finest detail. How she remembers the man came inside through the window, it was the ground floor, through the window, how he took her in the car, how he was talking. He said his name. She described his this. Like she described everything to very unordinary for a small child awareness and details. So the police didn't believe her. They said that this is after the trauma, the kid is inventing, the kid is like, they absolutely didn't believe her. They eventually they closed the case. And 15, 20 years later, when the new sheriff comes into that average American small town, and as a new, with a lot of enthusiasm, what they do, they reopen the old files, hoping that, like what they couldn't do, I will do. So among those files was also her file. And he said that, darling, I will do all my best to find and punish the bastard. And by some kind of chance, they call her one day and they said, we caught him. And they caught him absolutely by, I don't know, let's say by mistake, by something stupid, for something stupid, but just I don't know how they probably fingerprints kind of matched. So they caught him. They caught him for something else, but they understood that that's the person for this case as well. So they come to him and said, like, whatever, 20 years ago, do you remember this case? Do you remember that girl? Do you remember you cut her throat? Well, she's alive. And of course, the girl couldn't have no relation, like trauma. And when he heard, he started crying, hysterically crying. Anyway, so there has to be a trial, and the girl is preparing her speech, what she wants to tell him. And when the morning of the trial comes, he kills himself. He hangs himself in the prison. And end of the story, the girl, I don't know, got her justice and so on. So here the video finished, but my process only started. So it was all 30 seconds something, this fast they say. And I understood. Definitely I don't have the proofs. But they definitely, this girl in the previous life was herself a maniac who did the same, who was doing the same to the girls, to the little girls in the previous life. How do the maniacs behave? They are extremely in control of their emotions, and they are very accurate and attentive with the details. Only because of this, the girl, she still had the habit of seeing, be attentive to the details, be considerate, remembering the tiniest nuance in behavior, in, when you want to catch someone, you have to control a lot of factors. For that, you have to be calm and to really remember a lot of things. So the girl had those habits. Plus, this is why she could so well remember everything that happened and describe everything that happened. Plus, she got her karma. Whatever she would do just happened to her. I don't have the proofs to that, but I am sure that plus minus, this is what happened. So that is just the question uh, to the cases of being raped. Katerina is adding related to her son. I'm talking about desires, like for example, I want to try running a marathon, but I can't seem to get started, and then suddenly he tells me I want to run on Sunday morning, but I had other plans for Sunday at 7 a.m. But at some point I get up and go running with him. Essentially, it's my desire. It seems I need some kind of external push, and he often gives it to me as if he is reflecting my desires, which I don't speak out about, but only think about. Katerina, who knows, maybe in the past life he was your angel protector. This also happens. This also happens. So, is it, Leah, clear about the being stolen, being raped, and being a lot of other things? Perfect. Okay. Okay. Then let me see. There was a question above. I have a question regarding numerology, asks Nadine. Is it normal for the energy of a personal year to linger beyond its cycle? I still feel more aligned with the vibration of year number 9 than year number 1. Is this phase generally considered a transition period? Usually not. Nadine, usually not. For the personal years, usually they really start kind of, 12 a.m. What you might be confused about, because year number 9 and year number 1 are both very active. They are fire. Sun is fire, Mars is fire. So the activeness, maybe the insistence, the agitation, the events are so active, are so streaming, that you say, like, is it still number 9 happening? This is, by the way, a good topic to discuss during the practicals, so that, maybe your situation will be reflected in somebody else's similar experience, and you will understand that actually, no, this is more of a year number 1 rather than a year number uh, 9. Okay, next question. Good question. These are good. All the questions are good, but these are like absolutely unexpected. I know that. I know that the words in songs can affect our energy. However, I love some artists and they have a lot of songs that are a bit sad or melancholic or involving heartbreaks. Where is it the line between singing as a form of art, enjoyment, and allowing the words to impact us? Very good question. Very important thing. The words, the songs will always impact us. Always. Whatever is sang, those words remain in our house, just the very same as the TV, with all the news, with all the pictures, everything just stays inside. And whoever took the female to woman class, the whole class, one of the 9 classes, we are talking about these things, how to cleanse the house and how to make it the place of our power. And all this pollution, be it from the radio, from the songs, from the conversations, from the TV, it accumulates on our walls, in the corners. So unless you properly clean your house weekly, daily, yearly, whatever you can manage, all this stays there and constantly emanates and creates that kind of, why some houses we enter and we feel like so heavy and we start yawning, we start itching, we start like, I cannot breathe, I want to leave. And some houses you just come and like, wow, you feel like inspired, good news come, you receive money on your phone and so on. That is why absolutely all words will affect us. But where is the limit of that? Which songs are really very distractful and which songs are okay? Because the more sensitive, the more, let's say, pure you become, the more you start feel that I don't want to listen this anymore, or I want to listen that. But the song can be sad. It's okay for the song to be sad, but it's important that in that song be also a positive line. There should be hope. There should be a higher vibration as well. If it's a song where everything is bad, worse, the worse, then you shouldn't listen to those songs. But when there is sad, but then it's wow. There is hope, there is something nice, there is joy. Then, no, it's okay, it's better. But purely negative songs are really destroying us. This is why it's ideally, if you really pay attention at what you are listening, and start listening every day, playing in your house holy scriptures from your confession, from your religion, Quran, Christian prayers, mantras, whatever you relate, whatever you like, just let it play the names of God in your house, at least for some time. In my home, the names of God are sounding 24 hours, 7 weeks a day. About sleep, every single tiny or big anything affect it. Happy, sad, tired thoughts, pain, worries, and nothing worse to have a good night's sleep. Any thoughts, neurographica can help Yes, neurographica definitely. Neurographica, like rebirthing, like they can help in any kind of situation because it's meant to fix something in us that blocks us from living a normal life. So here in the sleep, it matters, Christine. It matters if it's kind of happened recently or it's like been forever. You are maybe afraid to fall asleep because when we sleep, we lose control. And when we lose control, we are afraid that something will happen that we don't want. This can be a reason when you are very disturbed, when you stop trusting people, when you stop trusting God, and you kind of you are even ready to not sleep just to make sure that everything is under control. Or maybe you are going late to sleep, you are waking up, I don't know, 9 o'clock, 10, 11. So just adjust your sleeping patterns when you can sleep before 10 p.m. and wake up early. This really can help. You can have a tiny cup of hot milk with turmeric or with cloves, with a little bit of ghee, with cinnamon, with cardamom, whatever you want, with some spices. Just a tiny glass of milk every evening, hot milk with a little bit of honey every day. Drink, and it also can improve. Or also, Christine, sometimes it can happen that somebody in the family died while sleeping, and there is a program that I am afraid to fall asleep because I will die. And you have problems with sleep. It's just like a variant. It also can be, but neurographica definitely can. Can you share how to cleanse our homes from the pollution? uh, we would need just one separate class for that, meeting for that, but at least stop having TV in your kitchens and in your bedrooms. Stop gossiping in your house. Bring I said holy names, whatever you relate to, make it at least start the morning with this. Bring some holy water in your house, regardless, bring it from church, Maitel Zamzam, the Ganga water, whatever you want, you bring and you sprinkle around the house. You cleanse with the singing of the bells. You cleanse you put the salt in the corners of the rooms. You sprinkle the water in the corners. This is the least you can do, but already all this. Cow dung is the queen of all the cleansing, but now I will not start this so that I don't blow mind of those, especially Rania, who is new to our community, so that she doesn't run away. I will keep the cow dung, the holy shit, for a later meeting. Uh, what if we cannot understand them? They are foreign languages. Will it be received if godly scriptures are in different languages? Of course, because even if we are listening to the songs that are not we don't understand the language, still the effect will be the same. If the TV is working in the house, and very often the people say, the women, mostly the women, they say, "Oh, I don't watch it. It's just they're working. Just I feel good that kind of there is someone in the house with me. I'm not watching." You think you are not watching, but all that trash just vomits into your house and creates that the sound. In the Bible, it's written, and the first was the sound, and that sound created. So it's the sound. The sound launches an action. The holy names, regardless what language, is always healing. This is why, even if you don't understand the language, it still works for you or against you. Okay, next question. I still sometimes ask my dad for help. Example, if I need something related to my car, if I need him to pick up something, and sometimes in my mind I think about asking my dad even before asking my husband, when is this problematic and when is it okay? It's okay only if your husband is not in the town, when your husband is dead, when your husband is in coma, or when your husband is with both broken legs and he cannot go and pick you up. That is the only cases when you ask your dad. In all the other situations, you have your husband who is totally responsible for picking you up, bringing you ice cream, taking you there and here, and regardless how good he feels. Your dad has your mom. Okay? Your husband has you. So that when it's problematic, now it's problematic, because when you ask your dad, it means the husband thinks what? انه انا حمار. Like, why she doesn't ask me who I am then? Then your husband is who? Your kid, your brother, your who? He's the one, the main responsible for you. He assumed responsibility, saying that, darling, you are my wife, and I am here for you, behind you, in front of you, and so on. And just in case of emergency, thanks God, you have your dad who will never say no. But your husband comes always first. Otherwise, he will relax. And when the husbands relax, we really feel bad. We start saying like, oof, no, oof, no, he's so relaxed. No, of course, when the dad does all the job, he will. What if our husband is already relaxed? Stress him, my dear, stress him. Don't be afraid to upset them. Just stress them out and give them all the actions and tasks that are bothering you. You relax. When your husband is relaxed, I guarantee you that you are 5 times more stressed and more active. I guarantee you. So you relax and let him handle the entire world, even if there is nothing to eat and kids haven't been, nobody drove the kids to the school for the past 5 days. You relax, make your manicure, pedicure, and your duty is to cook when there is food in the fridge. Food in the fridge is your husband's duty. If he didn't do his duty and he comes home and he says, what's for the dinner? You say, today for the dinner, I will dance for you because there is no food to cook. No experiment, my dears. I'm exaggerating, but not fully. They have to understand that, come on, it's one man in the family, one woman in the family, and I'm the woman. We need a full session on this. Female to woman, 9 whole session about important questions. I had a question about God. No, I haven't missed. We just started. We just started. No, I haven't missed. I'm going there. So here I will combine I will combine. Okay, one more question, short question. The truth therapy. Why you chose this method as as working with guiding people, working with people, and have you used it for yourself, and uh, how did it impact, has it impact you, or how did it impact you? My dears, I never ever give you something that I haven't tried myself. Never. More than that, I never learned anything with the idea of giving it to you. Everything that I learned, inclusively neurographica, inclusively truth therapy, inclusively rebirthing, and everything that you have access to, any kind of my course, I learn it for myself exclusively. And just because I loved it, and I say, wow, I say, why to keep it for myself? I will definitely, it will make my job easier of clarifying some of your questions, problems, and so on. Did it help me? Definitely. Absolutely, absolutely, yes. A lot, a lot. It helped me with a lot of issues, like tiny things, as for example, certain issues while traveling, definitely with the programs mother, father slash husband, definitely with my kids, the fear of death of the kids, this kind of all the fears, feeling of guilt, the dignity it helped, like many fundamental things where it clarified, where it made a change, made difference. So of course, I everything that I'm practicing, I'm doing myself till now. Till now, I'm doing rebirthing, and everything I practice it myself. So a couple of questions related God. So the question was, if you are asked what is God for you, and what would you answer? Is he an energy? Is he entity or spirit? Like, how would you describe him? Because some people don't believe in God, but believe in energies, universe, higher powers. Okay, I will first answer this and then continue with the God questions. Or no, let me vocalize the others, and because they are all interconnected. Why Vedas? How you, and like how you got to know Vedas? In which moment of your life? I understand that it could have been a gradual process. It's not that you just woke one morning and decided, but in the same time, I want to ask you, what specifically did you find in the Vedas, in the Hinduism? I myself saw a lot of changes after the practice of Venus correction and moon correction. But in the same time, I have never seen anything similar in different other religions. So it's hard for me to compare. I can only rely on my childhood memories of church, and the fact that I felt a lot of guilt and shame there. But this is childhood experience, not a grown up. What conquered you the most in the Hinduism? So I will kind of combine these two questions because they answer each other. I entered into the world of Vedas. Actually, it was really, I woke up once and I felt that something changed. It was my year number 3. For those numerologists, you will understand. It was my year number 3. It was 1st January when I, for the first time, knew that Radha is actually the personified love aspect of God. And from there it started. It started my trip, my travel into the Vedas. Today I will for me, God is absolutely personified. It's a person. I mean, not person, a human, but it's personified. It has a name, it has a history, it has qualities, it has a description, a face, many roles, many names, and so on. But I understand that most of the people consider God, relate to God as energy, as light, as ocean, and so on. And none of this is wrong. It just differs the level of perception, because God, and actually I would recommend to everyone who didn't take the numerology course, watch the first introductory class, which is in free access on YouTube. There you can learn a lot of important and useful thing, and exclusively this thing. God has 3 aspects: the aspect of light, the aspect of intelligence, and the personal aspect. And the personified aspect is the highest, is the most conscious. And here I bring the following example. Imagine imagine there is somebody living in a city, and the person is amazed that somehow the traffic lights are working by themselves, somehow the shops open at a certain time, and something like the life in the city, the traffic, the people, the schools, the hospitals, somehow they are by themselves functioning. They are kind of synchronized by themselves. So this is when the person is living on the level of percepting the God as light. There is nothing specific. We are all the souls after the body dies are uniting into one. There is no individuality and so on. It's just as if you are living in a city and you think that all these processes are just happening by themselves. Then somebody else living in the same city understands that there must be some kind of power, intelligence. This is the level of intelligence when people perceive God as an intellect. So living in the city, the person understands that there is some kind of power, there is some kind of intelligence that makes this, organizes the life. Some kind of power that organizes the life in the city. And there is someone who lives in the city, and he understands perfectly well that the hierarchy, there is a president whose name is ABC, and the president defines the rules, the main rules. But because the life of a city or of a country is so vast, the president needs helpers. So there is a prime minister, there are ministers, there are parliament deputies, and so on. And the person understands that the traffic is under control of Mr. Traffic. The electricity in the city is under the control of Mr. Electricity. And whenever I have problem with electricity, I will not go to the emergency. I will go to the whatever electricity department. I understand that behind these functions or these services, there is a precise person with a name and with a list of duties and responsibilities. So please tell me, whose life will be more conscious or more more fulfilling in this city? The one who knows to whom to go. If I have a problem, I will not just sit and I have a problem, but no, maybe some kind of divine ocean will understand that I have this problem and I don't know, my bills will be paid. No, usually if I have a problem, I write the letter into the, I don't know, Ministry of Education to the minister. Or if I know who is the president and I know where he's having his morning tea in which coffee shop, and I'm following his Instagram page and I know what music and what flowers he loves, then I can pretend that by mistake I enter the same coffee shop and I'm carrying his favorite flowers and I'm turning on his favorite song and I will conquer his heart and we will become friends. And we will become friends when the president is your friend, then there are so beautiful possibilities open up in your life. Do you agree? If president would be your, I don't know, not even uncle, at least neighbor, would your life in this country be better? Absolutely yes. But when you think some kind of power is there, but still, there are people, it's all about one. So here I'm going back a bit to the Vedas. Vedas are 96% of Vedas is the knowledge how to organize and how to be happy in your material life. Work, children, marriage, money, and all the possible things. 96%. And only 4% are about God. So definitely I started with what? I started with 94. How to improve my relationship, how to be a better mom, and how to earn more money. Normal. I would never go to God. Why? But so it worked. You start, here doing something, there doing something, learning about little elements and applying, and then you understand that actually life changes. And when life constantly changes, I'm a very skeptical and logical person, but you kind of understand that who could invent all this? What kind of brain can invent all this? And certain curiosity towards the creator awakens. And you go on a level higher, already studying about God. Like, okay, show me who you are. Who can invent something like this? And there, it's mind blowing. What? God is a person? How? It's so hard for me to understand. Like, okay, in the church, I can easily bow down to the icons, to the Saint Mary, kind of I can, but bowing down to this person, blue young man who is called Krishna, like, how can he be God? It was very hard. But I said, okay, let's study more. Let's go on. Rather, don't change anything. So I continued learning, I continued reading a lot, and then I will give a very, very bad comparison, but still it's a comparison. We can most of us, I mean all of us, we are only girls here, can understand. If you are in the street, it's impossible for you to be able to kiss a man, any stranger. It's impossible. I mean, to kiss that kind of kiss, that kind of kiss. French kiss. It's impossible. You cannot. No, you really cannot, because he's a stranger. You will feel like, I don't belong here, and you just slam the door. But when you meet that person again and again and again, and it's been like already 6-7 months, then if your relation is that kind of relation, then very easily and with a lot of passion and desire, and very naturally you will kiss that man. The very same here. When you don't know the person, it's kind of hard to trust, to like, to understand. This is why our relationship with God, most of the people, are fake, because they are poor, because we don't know nothing about God. It's very hard to love a ray of light. It's very hard to love ocean. How can you love ocean? We cannot. We can only love a person. And in Bible it said that God created us according to his own image, and so on. This is why who is God for me today? It's definitely personality. It's definitely personality. And Hinduism is the only religion where God and all the phenomena are personified. The rest of the religion, the name of God, the God is hidden. God doesn't have a personality. It's just a light, energy, and it's not wrong. It has been done for a reason, because when uh, the iron era, the winter of the universe started, people started degrading and they started misusing the knowledge. They started distorting the knowledge, and the truth has been interpreted wrongly. This is why in Vedas, God says, every 500 years, I will come, or I will send my messengers to correct the religion, to bring back the right understanding of the religiousness, of righteousness. I will fight the enemies and I will protect the devotees. So when the Vedas already started being interpreted wrongly, came Buddha. And Buddha said, forget whatever you learned so far. It's wrong. Forget about personification. Forget. It's wrong. Everything is one. And he brought back to the idea of level of the energy, intellect, light, and so on. And from there, step by step, it has it has been reached till our time, and every 500 years there would be a messenger who would rectify and bring a new religion or a new interpretation. But the root is one, only it has been given for a given situation, given circumstances of a certain area, of a certain times. But it's all about one. It's the same God, and it's how many times in like female to woman was my first course as a course, and I've been reading it for 10 years. Last year was year number 10, and this is where I stopped reading it. I mean, giving it life. I will not do it anymore. There are recordings that are perfect, so everyone takes that course. But in these, along the years, there were women from Christianity, Islam, Druze, and all of them, absolutely all of them, here or there, I would always, every year in all the groups, I would hear one single comment. Radha, we have this. Oh, Radha, they speak about this. Oh, Radha, in Quran this is written. Oh, Radha, the priest says this. Oh, Radha, we Druze, we also have this. And I say, of course, because the root is one. The root is one. The root is Vedas. It only has been registered, like written form, 10,000 years ago. So definitely everything that came after will be based on that, specifically, selectively, according to the time and circumstances. And the more ignorant we will be, the more distant we will separate all the religion, saying that, oh no, the way you pray is wrong, oh no, that language is wrong, oh no, that is wrong. And the closer you are to God, then you will understand that these are kids of God, those are kids of God, we are all one. This is when you connected to God, when you understand there is no difference. And I am bringing example myself, not that I'm comparing myself, no, again, bad example, but just to understand how it happens. I am who I am. I'm no one. I'm no one even on the level of a century, not of the level of the universe. On the level of this material life, on the level of 100 years, I'm no one. If I die today, or the moment I will die, 50 years, I don't think somebody after 50 years will remember me, unless I do really something nice and people will remember me. Other than that, people will not. Like, I am not nothing. The moment I die, nothing will change in this universe. Nothing. Okay, I'm no one. And still, I have so many roles and so many names. There can be a person saying that, a person talking to the other person and say, oh, look, on Instagram, you see this lady, you see, I did, my little boy did dynamic gymnastic with this lady. Amazing, she's amazing. Radha, she's amazing. I will remember her till the end of my days, because dynamic gymnastic was the best thing I did for my kid. And the other person says, what's wrong with you? Did you drink? Dynamic GC. This is Radha. She does the kombucha. Like, she only does the kombucha. I've been drinking her kombucha and it's the best. But like, she's not doing. You are mistaken. And there comes another Radha. What Radha? Are you crazy? Radha is giving female to woman courses. And somebody else says, hey, you don't know anything about Radha. Radha to lives in Mrejet, Mahassa Bikalun Haudi. She's my neighbor, and she has beautiful garden. And somebody else says like, all of you don't know anything. I did the reading, numerology with Radha, astrology with Radha, and like, what are you talking? What gymnastic? This woman is completely into Veda. She has nothing to do with your kombucha. She will never do that. And the other people would come and they would eventually fight. For what? Like, for me, who I'm nobody. And look, still, I can create so much confusion. I can create so much confusion in this simple world. So what about God? What about God, who has no end and no beginning? Who is, I mean, what can we imagine about God? Not even imagination is not enough there to this. That is why my internet provider always very offended. He says, Radha, how could you betray Jesus? He did so much for you. He sacrificed his life for you. How could you betray him by choosing Hinduism? I say, if you only knew that I love Jesus much more than you love him, because I live by what he said. I live by his lessons and not by what you say. You go to church in your cleavage close to your vagina and thinking that, oh, Jesus, oh, Mary. So what to say? This is why, my dears, Vedas, why it conquered me, why I chose, why I'm studying more this than anything else, because it gave me answers that nothing else gave me. Nothing else gave me. It helped me understand God the way I would never dream. I would never imagine in my nightmares that I will ever talk with so much love about my God. I think if I heard myself the way I'm talking now, I heard myself like even 15 years ago, I would say, Radha, you're a fanatic. I would never ever imagine that I would come to love God so much, that I would be in so much contact and I would know so much about God. I would never. And I'm still studying God. And it's like an ocean without the bottom. It's so interesting. And the more you study, the less fears you have. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. This is why I definitely keep on studying Vedas and everything. Most of the things that I'm teaching are based on that. And I'm talking so much about God. And very often I get back the comments that, Radha, what I like about you is that even though like you accept me, I mean different people, you accept us regardless who we are, and you don't try to impose your way of worshiping God on us. You are the way you are, and you allow us to be the way you are. And why? It's the same, like who said, internet is one, providers are many. I don't want you to believe in, to see the God I see. If you will do this, you will only win. But the religion you have, the religion you just practice, the religion you are in, practice it consciously, not just fanatically, going to church or Sunday or praying 5 times per day without him automatically. Don't do it automatically. Study God through your books, through the interpretation of your priests, of your sheikhs and everything. Your books are more than enough. And whenever I am taking groups to India, because I said there is so much God, where I go, for me, it's the holiest place on earth, and there is more God than anywhere else. And I always say that I don't bring you here to prove you that Hinduism is better than whatever Christianity, or no. Come here, absorb that God, absorb that quantity, abundance of God, so that when you go back, you start loving your God, your way, in a better way. When you go back to church, you will feel that actually God is real. When you will go to the mosque, you will just understand, so that you know your God better. And very often people say, like, Radha, really, like now for me, I don't know. God looks different. I keep on praying the same way. I go to the same places, but for me, there is more conscious approach. I say that is all I need. Keep on establishing your relationship through your confession, but do it consciously, because God is there. And with God, our life is full of meaning. Without God, it's just a waste of time. So, Venus correction, moon correction, you will never find anywhere in other religion. Why? Because the approaches are different. The approaches are different. So, somebody doesn't accept it, feeling that they are betraying their religion. Is it wrong? No, it's okay. That is the level. That is normal for the person. We cannot be all, I don't know, on the same level. Is it a bad person? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And for example, in the last group, of the moon correction, there was a lady, and she said, Radha, I don't relate. And no, I don't relate. Like, and no, I feel, why should I do something from other religion when in my religion, like, there are things in my religion. But can I stay just, just for those knowledge that you say? Can I still be in the group but not do the correction? I say, of course. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Is it bad? No. At least stay there and listen the academical knowledge. But don't do. And no, was I upset or did I think bad of that lady? Absolutely not. She was honest to herself, and she had the courage to be honest with myself. She could have stayed there silently, not doing anything, and getting her interest. But no, she chose telling me very honestly that, like, I'm not relating. Like, I feel that I want to follow my religion. Very good, follow your religion, my dears. Follow. All the books are powerful. All the holy books are powerful. Only the difference is that, unfortunately, Quran is not really clear to us. Bible, come on, try read the Bible. You will go crazy on the 5th paragraph, where the earth has been separated from the water through the sky, and you get lost. On the 5th paragraph, it's not understood. We cannot read Bible or Quran like a newspaper. We need people who will help us, who will guide us. This is why I always say, find a priest, find a sheikh who you like, how he interprets, and they will make you understand the Bible, the stories, everything, uh, so that when you pray, when you do something, when you go to church, it will not just be for the tick the box, okay, I go, please God, and have some mercy. No, your life will become more conscient. You will become conscient in your every action. You will understand why. And that is the problem of Islam and Christianity. They don't explain why. This is why what Katerina said that it was just uh, shame and guilt and fear. In Islam is fear. It's based on the energy of fear. In Christianity, it's the energy of guilt and shame. Jesus suffered, so you suffer. That is why in Vedas, there are 5 types of relationship with God you can build, but they are all built on joy and love. Joy and love. And when you go to the temple in India, 4:30 a.m., the temple is full of people who are dancing and singing for the God. Where did we see this in? And your heart melts. You start crying. Because when you see the temples are full, the life of people is still around God. God is on every corner, and God's name is on everywhere. Everything is around God, and you feel so nice. It feels so good when eventually you understand. Oh, the God is not like, oh, you'll burn. Oh, please suffer. Jesus didn't want that. Come on. The message was different. So that is why people stop going to churches and stop following the religious rituals. They are very important. Spirituality without these rituals, you cannot drink water from your palm. You need a cup. The very same, in order to establish your connection to God, you need rituals. You need rituals. And nowadays, what are the tendencies? Oh, I don't need church. I don't need mosque. I can myself connect to God. I'm sorry, bullshit. You cannot. Without rituals on the first level, you cannot. Without guidance, you cannot. Because you will interpret God the way you like. You will select from the Holy Scriptures what benefits you, and you will ignore what kind of you don't want. So in the beginning, we need the container. And only when we really connect genuinely to God, that time we don't need anymore. We don't need church, we don't need, because we are already stable in our faith, in our connection to God. And what I like very much is reading about people who reached God. For me, this is the most inspiring, because they inspire me. They kind of make me feel like, look, Radha, look what people, and look where you are. Like, and in certain moments, it inspires me. Come on, Radha, maybe you can be a bit better. Like, remember what they did. Remember how they did in this situation and that situation and everything. That is why God is the most beautiful thing that can happen to us, and life without God is an empty and wasted life. I was invited to an African church, but I couldn't go. But the videos they showed were also full of joy and songs, and I thought, given their history, I'm not surprising. I think that's the only thing that gave them hope for life in the time, their history of slavery. I saw this in the movie when they are singing and celebrating God. So it really feels good. It feels wonderful, because when you can find the power, the faith, the strength in God, that is really the only thing that helps you. And when we like, imagine you you trust your husband is a good person, or your father as a kid, as your father, and you understand that father will protect you anywhere and anyhow and in any kind of situation, how good you feel. How good you feel. Just remember those instances where you felt safe, 100% safe, how good you felt. But then you understand that, okay, I'm safe when I'm here, but when I'm alone and the middle of the night in kind of a abandoned railway station, who can help you? Father, brother, husband, mother, president, who? Even the policeman is not there. But if your relationship with God is established, you will feel safe. You will ask for help. You will start praying to Him, knowing that He is here. God is here. Or God's helpers, call it angels, call it demigods, different personification, saints. If you have a good relationship established with the saint, you will feel safe. You will feel safe. And you will feel like, okay, no, God is there, and I feel God. This is why I chose Veda. It's not that I chose, but Vedas defined me. My happiness today is thanks to the knowledge I learned there. I found the answers to all my questions and to million other questions that I was not even hoping to ever have in my mind. And the fact that other people don't understand, that the people don't I don't know, don't agree, why would I care? Why would I care? I am a good citizen of this world. I am proud of how I am living my life. I am extremely grateful to whatever. Like, I am happy with who I am. And I know that I want to become even better. So I'm very confident about the path I chose, and for me, the things. For me, God is one in all His colors, names, and aspects. Like, I'm in peace. I'm in peace with God. I'm in peace with everyone. Vedic and Vedism as a religion is that Veda is a collections of scriptures, which are, I mean, they are really innumerable about every single aspect, about every single detail of our life. This is Vedas. A huge collection of scriptures about every single uh, element, moment, aspect of our life. Inclusively, in this 100%, 4% only are about God. God as a religion. The rest of the Vedas just are defining our material life, how we should wake up, what we should do in the first place, how we should take shower, how we should conceive our children, how we should receive money, how we should learn, get married, prepare for the birth of the child, how we should die, how we should clean the house, how we should eat, cook, travel, sleep, and so on. This is all Vedas, a collection of scriptures about every single element, every single situation in our life. It teaches us how to live our life correctly. And India's India's purpose on the universal level, on the level of the planet Earth, is to preserve the knowledge, because before it was not, it was all Bharata. It was all the lands of whatever is now, mostly of it is India. So the planet Earth was divided into, there were different divisions along different times, when the power of light and power of darkness were having their own regions. Then it evolved into different. I will not open this topic now, but it's because it was practiced in India, it was preserved, and this is why it's practiced there the most. But Vedas belong to every person who wants to reconnect to God, and all the religions as base, definitely they were their teachings are based on the Vedas, only adjusted to a certain time, to a certain place. My dears, there are more questions, but it's already been what, 2 hours? Wow, 2 hours and a half. So definitely we will stop. We will stop here. For me, it's already 12 and a half. Girls, it's time to sleep. So thank you. It was interesting and wonderful for me as well. Thank you for being, and thank you for your questions. Since there are more questions left, most probably we will meet again. I don't know when, but we will meet again and continue with answering those questions. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. We will do that. So, my dears, good night. I wish you happiness, and I want to tell you that your happiness is absolutely your responsibility, your right, and your power. Please use it. Become inspiring, become happy, and be the reason of a change, of a better change for somebody else. Good night. Thank you.